We are live.
Okay. Namaste, good evening. I, Dr. Afsana Badar from the heart of India, Nagpur, welcome you all to yet another exciting episode of UBI Open Mic. Before we begin today's open mic, I would like to recite a few lines for our nation, the land of our birth, the place which has brought us together today because we share the same roots, the same mother. Land of our birth, we pledge to thee our love and toil through the years to be. When we are grown and take our place as men and women with our race. Land of our birth, our faith, our pride, for whose dear sake our fathers died. O motherland, we pledge to thee, head, heart, and hand through the years to be. Let's start today's open mic with an introduction to UBI. UBI, United by Ink, is a global platform connecting creative minds through an international forum, which is a thriving community of nearly 10,000 enthusiastic artists who have come together to express their creativity in different forms across various social media handles. United by Ink was founded on 2nd February 2018 as a global Facebook page created by Mrs. Sapna Shivani Kekre to bring the writing fraternity under one roof. She has also authored the book Oski Bunde. At UBI, we have avid readers, passionate writers and authors, performing artists, painters, and photographers. We also offer free blogging platforms to those who are just setting their foot into writing. UBI also provides pre and post publishing support, marketing support, distribution support, which would make the journey easy for the creative enthusiasts. Another initiative by UBI, the UBI Learning Labs program, is on a mission to make learning easy and within reach for whoever desires to learn these creative skills. Our annual events comprise of UBI Fest, UBI Hindi Utsav, and UBI Inked Marathon, providing opportunities to like-minded individuals to come together, learn, and grow as part of the UBI family. At present, the UBI team, along with Mrs. Sapna Kekre, comprises of Mr. Piyush Manke, Ms. Alia Bhatkar, Ms. Sheetal Pradhan Deshpande, Dr. Suchi Shukla, Mr. Shyam Sundar Sharma, and Dr. Ekta Kaur Sachdeva. Coming to UBI open mics, with our weekly open mic culture, we have transcended the boundaries of time, space, and distance to bring the literary culture on the forefront. Not just limited to English, UBI Open Mic is also a platform for creative expression through Hindi, Marathi, and Punjabi. And we look forward to associating with many more. If you are a narrator or a poet, a singer or a dramatic, we give wings to your dreams and flight to your creativity. Recently, UBI celebrated the 200th episode of UBI Open Mic with more than 200 writers who enthralled the audiences with their literary masterpieces live for 12 hours non-stop. Today, I welcome you all on behalf of the UBI family to be a part of the 203rd episode of UBI Open Mic. Today's episode on storytelling brings from around the globe wordsmiths who have stories that are eager to be heard, remembered, and learned from. We are here today to share stories, the ones which we have seen through our eyes, and the ones we are eager to see through yours. So, let me quickly introduce you all to our first wordsmith for today, Vikas Arun Parikh. Vikas Arun Parikh finds his creative voice primarily in the realms of drama and children's literature. Hailing from the vibrant city of Jaipur, Rajasthan, his journey through life has led him to a residence in London where he resides with his family. His professional pursuits extend to the IT department of an international bank. His latest entrepreneurship venture is AI related. Among his noteworthy literary endeavors, the novel Letters to My Mother was published in August 2023 and has sold more than 5,000 copies in the first year of publishing. His contributions to children's literature are marked by The Adventures of Blue Flamingo, The Adventures of Blue Flamingo Ganga series, and The Adventures of Blue Flamingo Personalized. In the realm of drama, his book Voices of the Silent Creek stands as a heart touching narrative set in rural India, shedding light on the daily struggles and injustices faced by women. Vikas also owns a YouTube channel along with his friend Saurabh Nirmal named Life He Gupshup, where they share their insights on various topics, including book reviews. Vikas is passionate about occult sciences. He is a Reiki grandmaster, a tarot reader, a numerologist, and a Vastu consultant. He can be reached at vikasarunparik.com and also on social media handles by the same name. What an elaborative profile. Now we are eager than ever to know how your story is going to unfold. Over to you, Vikas.
Thank you. Thank you, Afsana, for the kind words. And thank you, UBI and Afsana, for inviting me to this forum. The title of the story is The Christmas Dinner. Jane looked at her trembling hands. They started shaking a bit when Gordon was still around. She paused for a moment to think how long that was. She let out a little laugh. Gordon, her childhood sweetheart, and now she can't even remember how long he has been dead. She hummed her favorite tune as she lifted the lid of the pot. She still preferred to cook on the stove, not the microwave her youngest son had installed a year back. As she continued humming, she thought she always liked the fellow, even though Gordon always found him a bit flaky. She let out a small, weak laugh. These days, she was careful not to laugh loudly, even though she so desperately desired to. The doctor warned her that she might leak urine or stool if she laughed loudly. After through 2 or 3 incidents, she is a bit careful now. She put the cooking on simmer and sat in the first chair she could find in the dining room. She looked outside the patio door and saw little Charlie taking his first steps in the snow. Gordon had just come from wretched London the same evening, and they were spending their first Christmas with Charlie. Now he is all grown up and has kids of his own. So naughty. Her own kids were angels, and they were born that way. Today, after almost 6 months, they would be all together with her, she thought. She was worried that they might cancel like the last few Christmases. She understood that they had their own families now and they live far away. The nearest was her daughter in Edinburgh. She mustered all her energy to go check the pot. They would all be here in few hours, she thought. Her phone rang. Hey mom, I'm really sorry. My boss gave me these last minute files to complete and I don't think I can come tonight. It was Adam, her middle son. Oh dear, it's okay. Don't worry about me. You don't work too hard. Give my love to Sarah and kids. Yes, I will. And hey, even Jess can't make. She's been trying to call you since morning. Oh, I don't know. I didn't get a call. My phone was with me the whole time, she replied. No worries, Mum. Merry Christmas. See you soon, yeah? He disconnected the phone before she could wish him. She wanted to call Jessica but realized she had forgotten her glasses in the bedroom upstairs. It would be like climbing a mountain to go upstairs and get her glasses. She normally comes down and stays down the whole day. She decided to snuggle up near the fireplace in a favorite rocking chair which Gordon had gifted her when Adam was born. She waited for the others to come. They could be here any minute now. It's well past evening, she thought. She got excited and set up the table as well. Now she regrets taking so much exertion, but it's fine, she thought. Christmas is only once a year. As the clock passed 8 o'clock, a sense of fear and disappointment crept in. Now she didn't feel like eating the food. It took her the whole day to prepare, and she was sure that they all had reasons not to be here. Surely they would come soon to meet. She wanted to relive their childhood through their children and cherish every opportunity to spend time with her grandchildren. She must have dozed off, sitting in the chair when the bell rang. They have made it, even if it is 10 o'clock. She ran as much as she could to open the door with an extra spring in her step. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness outside, she saw about 10 people, but they were not her family. Hello, Mrs. Norris. Oh, it's you lot. Merry Christmas, they wished together. She smiled and wished back a Merry Christmas. Come on in, then, she said. By the time Jane went to bed, all the food in her house was finished. Even the leftovers were distributed. She must have told a dozen stories of her four angels, her children, and got an awe, applause, and admiration as her children should get. She was so tired that she thought she would never wake up again. And just like that, she had spent another Christmas with her neighbors, in fact, three in a row. Thank you, Sana. Over to you.
That was indeed a heart touching tale. The evening of life, or the autumn, as some call it. All one wants is to find peace, calm, and solace, and company of family and friends. But is it always possible? No. What do you all think? I think it's quite heart
Touching. It
touching.
does.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Talana, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. It was really heart touching and beautiful. Loved it.
Thank you.
And yes, it is a lesson to take time out for our loved ones, for our family, for our elders before time runs out.
Absolutely.
I think this is a case everywhere, and uh, we don't realize it a lot. Not we don't realize it often, but I mean this is the truth that's going on.
Yeah, the sad
Lovely
truth.
story.
That's true. Okay, so let's move. How heartwarming it feels to go back to the memories of our childhood and feel the nostalgia. So let me quickly introduce you all to our next pensmith for today, Miss Tarana Fazal. Tarana Fazal is a versatile writer with a strong foundation in children's literature. Her two books, Rosenberry's Escapades, The Ashburg Estate, and Rosenberry the Mishibu, are being liked by the young readers and the old. She is also the co founder of Creative Pens, a writing services venture based in Nagpur. Her expertise extends to her role as a resource person at HarperCollins. Academically, Tarana holds an MBA in finance and marketing, but she ultimately chose to follow her childhood passion and made writing her full term profession. Today, she serves a global clientele working with individuals and organizations across India, the USA, Canada, the UK, France, and the Netherlands. Her writing portfolio includes blogs, articles, biographies, and stories. She also writes regularly for newspapers and children's magazines. In addition, Tarana conducts creative writing workshops under her own banner, Magic of Pens in Schools. She can be reached at her website, creativepens.com, and social media handles by her name. A poet at heart, she finds solace in writing verse and expressing through drawing and painting. Tarana lives in the serene Mediba colony in Nagpur, India, with her two brilliant children, her cricketer husband, and supportive in laws. Thank you for accepting the invite for today's open mic. Handing over the mic to you, Tarana.
Thank you, Afsana, for a kind and generous introduction. And I will move ahead with my story for today. The title of my story is A Surreal Blessing. As the twilight descended the quiet evening hours, there once again came a sound that only Omid could hear. The young 10-year-old Omid is sitting near his bedroom window. The sound is gentle and captivating to his ears, unlike any other melody. Every evening, when the sun dips below the horizon, the melody begins, and it never allows him to concentrate on anything else, drawing him away from his task and into its embrace. It's spellbinding. Others who stay around don't hear anything. Today, too, Ammi is with him, but she is busy talking with Omid about her daily chores. She is unaware of the symphony that fills her son's ears. As she leaves the room, the sound becomes milder. This happens every evening during dusk hours. One evening, unable to resist the pull any longer, Omid decides to look out for the source of the sound. He spots a mild wave of light moving in a certain direction. He thinks the sound has got a face as well. This must be every day. Maybe I just discovered it today, Omid ponders. With this revelation, first the sound and now the light, this new intervention has become all the more attractive. It is like pulling Omid towards its destination. But I can't. Omid resists the pull, acknowledging his physical limitations. With this, the sound gets milder and eventually disappears. This has been happening now for quite some days. It's afternoon hours. Omid is back from school. Sitting near the window in his bedroom, he watches other children in the street going back to their homes from school. In no time, they will pass again on the same path for evening games. I wish I could join them, but Abba will be back home soon and we will play some board games. I can't deny I love chess. Omid felt grateful. Completing his homework, Omid takes a glance at the window. The sound has started again. It reminds Omid of the twilight hours. He leaves his schoolwork aside to concentrate if he sees the light as well. Yes, it's there too. It's so subtle and inviting. And again, that pull. Should I try to surrender once to this unknown force of attraction? What harm can it be? Anyway, nothing can move me an inch. Omid chuckles. With this thought, he closes his eyes only to find the pull more evident. He tries to open his eyelids, but it's like they are tied with an invisible cloth, something like the game of blindfold. He feels like he is now moving in a whirlpool, and then all of a sudden it stops, as if the earth has come to a halt. He senses that his eyes are free to be opened now. It's a big playfield. The sun is shining bright, and the cool breeze envelops the place. There is an enchanting scent, quite familiar. It's like the oud perfume his father wears on special occasions. Omid smiles, thinking so. Wondering further, he looks down to his feet. He is standing firm. He can't believe his eyes. His legs are full of life. He starts running in excitement all over the open field until he is tired and sits on a bench. He remembers his friends playing football at school. Though he tries real hard to find pleasure every day watching them play, still a silent pain accompanies this thought. A pang of longing erupts in Omid's heart. Suddenly, a football stops at his feet, waking him up from his thoughts. He looks up to see a few boys signaling him to give a pass. The faces look familiar and friendly. He experiences a sense of belonging he had never known before. He gets up with a newfound energy and joins them for the game. After a contented hour of play, he thinks he is done for the day. The sun has begun to set on the horizon. He feels like going back home to his Ammi. He closes his eyes and thinks of his room, only to find himself sitting back on his bed like usual. Magic indeed. Was this just a daydream? He wonders. No, it's reality. Maybe a dream for others, but a reality for me, he reassures himself. He remembers the wish he makes during each namaz. It's the holy month of Ramzan, and he's been wishing to be able to walk, run, and play like all others his age. And how instantly Allah had granted his wish. Alhamdulillah, he exclaims. How ignorant of me not to understand his divine signs. Omid sighs. He's just pondering over all this when Ammi enters his room with his dinner plate. She is pleased to see her son very happy today, with a glow never seen before. Did you enjoy chess today with Abba? She asks. Yes, Ammi, Omid replies. And he could not stop himself from saying, but I'll play cricket tomorrow. Thank you.
This was a lovely story, Taana. Yes, miracles do happen. We just need to believe in them. What do others think about the story?
Really beautiful. The ending completely, throughout the story, the flow as well, very beautiful indeed.
Yeah, I would agree. Very beautifully written and a little heartbreaking as well, huh?
Yeah, it was a beautiful story. And yes, but at the end, there was hope. And that's what we should live with. Hope,
Hope is the
definitely.
only thing which
Yeah,
takes us
that
ahead in
keeps
our
you
life.
going. That's
That's
right.
the only thing we can trust on.
Yeah, a beautiful story.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Very nice,
Thanks
very
for the
nice.
appreciation. Thanks a lot.
So, after experiencing the nostalgia of the past, let's fill our bags with the now. Before we hear about this from our next wordsmith, let me introduce him to our lovely audience here. Atif Ali, graduating from IBS Hyderabad, is a poet and writer who runs the podcast The 2 Minute Storyteller. He started this initiative in which he writes and narrates very short stories of all genres to give a weekly dose of imagination for listeners of all ages. His page has several thousand listeners on Spotify and other pages too. He has also interviewed Shark Tank contestants like Mayank Parikh and Ria Rastogi as part of the Little Text and has won and participated in several open mics, contests, and workshops. I have to say, a very impressive profile for age as young as you have. So, what do you have for us today, Atif?
Thank you. Firstly, thank you for inviting me here and giving me a platform to speak
It
on.
was a pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, UBI team, the entire team. Uh, so the story here is, the title is Cobbler, and I would request everyone to just sit back, maybe close your eyes and imagine. And here it begins. The old loudspeakers crackled with the melodious azan from the tall minarets, echoing in the alleys of the old city and the hearts of everyone present. Ahmad looked towards the clock tower that reflected the last orange rays of the setting sun. He squinted, trying to figure out the exact time. The azan went on, praising God and calling the faithful to prayer. He quickly packed his tools in the worn out bag and shoved it inside the little cabinet he had found a couple of days back on the roadside. As he headed out, a man hopped to him and pointed towards his shoe. Ahmed frowned, reopened his bag, and deftly sewed the hanging sole back to the shoe. As the last call sounded, Ahmed left his tools on the ground, stood up, pushed them to the corner gently with his feet, and hurried out. There was hardly anyone left on the street. He could see the mosque at the end of the alley. The brilliant white structure was now glowing orange with the sun's setting rays. Ahmed, who visited it 5 times each day, stood awestruck every time he saw it. Today, however, there was no time to admire the sight. He walked briskly. On his way, he spotted Shikar, the blacksmith. He tried slipping out quietly, But Shikar, who was rearranging his bulky set of skull crushing hammers, called him. Ahmed ignored and walked away. He was one of the last few to reach the mosque. He kicked out his footwear, hurriedly performed the ablutions, and walked in while pulling the skull cap from his left pocket. He joined the last row, bending and prostrating as everyone did in the rows in front of him. By now, Shikar had also joined him. Shikar was many times bigger than Ahmed, who looked like a shy deer against a mighty bear. Ahmed could sense the sooty smell of burning coal and hot iron. As the prayers were about to end, Ahmed slowly sneaked out. He scouted around the main entrance under the tall white arch. In front of him was a sea of slippers and sandals, some of pointed pure leather, while others worn out to just a sole, barely hanging. After checking if no one was around, with trembling hands, he picked up pair after pair and hid them in a cloth bag. Suddenly, his heart stopped beating as he felt a heavy hand on his shoulder. Ahmed shivered and slowly turned around his head. It was the last person he wanted to see. Shikar stood like a mountain over him. He whispered, "Someone is stealing our slippers when we go in to pray. Be careful." Ahmed gulped and pointed towards his feet wrapped in stone sandals. Shikar nodded. "Oh, great. So you have yours." And Shikar let go of Ahmed. Ahmed hopped and made his way to the corner of the street and disappeared in the deserted bazaar. Soon the worshippers thronged out from the mosque with peaceful smiles and happy camaraderie. Everyone scrambled to find their footwear. But then, a few of the pairs were missing. And the unlucky ones who couldn't find theirs went almost halfway down the alley, picking up baskets and bending under shops, desperately in search of their slippers. After all, they had businesses to tend to and mouths to feed. Most of them gave up their futile attempts and walked away barefoot. Soon it was time for the next prayer. And those missing pairs mysteriously reappeared. The torn stitched, the dirty washed and polished, and again another lot of them vanished. The end.
Lovely, Artif. Lovely. We could not imagine the end like that. And yes, what a story it was. And I still can't decide whether what Ahmad did was right or wrong. But yes, good deeds often have to be done in disguise.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a saying that
What do others have to say?
there's a saying that when you do a good deed with your right hand, your left hand shouldn't even know.
Right. And,
Yes,
and
such a
only the
beautiful
faithful who
story.
would come for the next namaz would get their sandals back.
Absolutely.
It
I
was
think it was
seriously a
beautiful.
very, very beautiful story. Very
Thanks a lot,
nice.
ma'am.
And the ending was like, wow, could not imagine that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No one could guess that ending.
I think it was really, really well written. I think the main thing which I sort of thought was the description was very, very nice. I mean, I could literally, when you said sit back, close your eyes, and imagine, I was actually taken to that place, and I could just smell that iron. It was for that
Sooty
cobbler.
smell of iron and coal.
Yeah, it was really, really good description. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank
Yes,
you.
I agree with Vikas. Your other stories, previous stories have also been the same way. Love that. Human storyteller, yeah.
It feels a lot that such great writers are giving me compliments. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm just a novice here.
Okay, so moving on to our next story, I would like to invite our next storyteller, Miss Nancy. Nancy Chadda is a reading enthusiast of fiction born and educated in Kuwait. She currently resides in New Delhi with her family. As a versatile writer, Nancy navigates various genres with finesse from poignant fiction to thought provoking essays. Her pieces often explore female identity, and connect the reader with the essence of benevolence and goodwill. She recently published her debut book, The Game of Rochambeau. Her forthcoming second book on the 10 Sikh Gurus, slated for publication with Westland Publishing House, promises to be a profound exploration of faith and heritage. One can find her work online on prestigious platforms such as Readsay, Readomania, Blog Chatter, and Story Mirror. Her short stories won her the Indian Film Project World Silver Award, along with the long list recognition in esteemed literary contests. She also runs an organic foods company, Organica, that is dedicated to a more conscious way of living. You can reach her out on social media handles of the same name. We are glad to have you here and eager to hear what you have in your bag, Nancy.
Thank you.
Over.
Thank you so much, Asana, for the warm intro. And thank you to the entire UBI Open Mic team for having me here. It's truly a pleasure to be a part of this wonderful platform and to share space with such passionate voices. The stories I heard before mine, they're amazing. They're really amazing. And now let me take you into the world of my story. The title is A Tooth's Worth of Memory. Draped in the color of ebony, the man, a mere shadow, weaved through the alleys, his movements stealthy and deliberate, his heart thudded with adrenaline, each step bringing him closer to the house, now a mere 100 feet away. He jolted as the structure loomed before him. A shiver of unease snaked down his spine. He slipped behind a twisted oak tree, its ancient limbs curling around him, concealing him. Logic insisted no soul would stir at such a ghastly hour, and yet he felt the need to be concealed. Urging himself on, he clawed his way to the back door of the house. A flower pot sat by the entrance, its colors muted in the night. Lifting it, he found what he sought. People usually keep spare keys under flower pots. It's an open secret. Beats the purpose. Cat-like, the man slid into the house, entering a world he'd not belonged to. His feet, soundless, led him up the stairs. His destination, the room of a child. The door stood ajar, the moon peeping through the window, bathed in the room in deep eeriness. He paused, listening as the child's gentle breath whispered through the stillness. He steadied himself. He couldn't get derailed by the deflection. Slowly, silently, he tiptoed into the room. There was a stir in the child's nearly soundless breathing. Perhaps it was the slight motion that caused it. Instinctively, the man pressed himself against the back of the door, holding still until the gentle rhythm resumed. With practiced precision, he unfastened his backpack and sifted through its contents. He found what he was looking for. It felt cold to his touch, steely and sharp. Time was fleeting. He needed to act swiftly, else days of careful planning would go to waste. This was no ordinary night. It had to be done today. With measured steps, he approached the child's bed, his gestures meticulous, cautious. A plethora of emotions swirled within him as his hand inched closer to the tiny shape, his fingers tightening around the sharp object, his determination intensifying. He played his move. Mission complete, he faded into the night, the darkness swallowing him whole. When he lay down in bed that night, he knew sleep would not come to him easily. At times like this, it usually sat at the edge of his bed, watching him with halved eyes and a snicker. It understood his turmoil all too well, the weight of his actions, and the unsettling contrast of his life. Though he had trodden this path before, tonight felt heavier, prickly goosebumps creeping up his arms. His wife, a weary soul, had long dismissed the idea of tooth fairies. A single parent for 3 years, she was too caught up in the mundane struggles of life to indulge in whimsical beliefs. and she refused to let their son drown in fantasies that could shatter with one word. Yet he, a fervent dreamer, wanted his son to believe, to find wonder in the world around him, to envision a realm where the enchantment of Hogwarts and Oz and Narnia thrived, where the whispers of Neverland and Fantasia tangled in the air, a world where dreams took flight and imagination rooted with reality. Tomorrow, as the sun came up, splashing the sky with a fresh stroke of hope, the man longed to see the spark of wonder in his son's eyes when he would discover the gift tucked beneath his pillow, the Harry Potter Lord Voldemort official wand, the very wand he knew his son longed for, but would never dare ask his mother to buy. A hollow ache tightened in the man's chest at the thought of the moment unfolding without him. For now, all he could do was linger in the space between wakefulness and slumber, in wait for his son's next tooth to fall.
Oh, what a mystery, Nancy. And what a relief. I was really convinced in the starting that the guy is a serial killer.
Thank you.
But yes, what people can do for love. This was just a small example, but yes,
Yeah, I was
what
also
do
hoping,
others?
I was also hoping for the worst, and then it it felt good then when it didn't happen. Really nice story.
Thank you.
I could see Atif, Vikas, Afsana, we all started smiling at the same time. So we all were just expecting the opposite. And
The
what
worst, yeah.
wonderful, what a nice ending.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. I'm
absolutely.
glad you liked it. All right. So, Sana, should we move on? All right. And now, from one storyteller to another, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce someone whose words echo with depth and a love for nature that flows through every piece she writes. The lady of the hour herself, Dr. Afsana Ilyas Badar. Dr. Afsana is a homeopath and a passionate writer based in the serene Mehdi Bagh colony, Nagpur. Growing up amidst nature deeply influenced her love for writing about its beauty and wonders. While she pursued a career in medicine, writing remained her soulful pursuit. Her work is regularly featured in the Hitavada, the Twinkle Star Weekly, MBYC, Arthropod magazine, Reader's Choice e-magazine, and Frontlist Media. Her short story Quenched was published in Unwind Volume 4 by Quill Writers, and her poem, An Ode to the Woman, won the Women's Day contest by the Creative Circle. In November 2023, her acclaimed novel in verse, Nostos, Homecoming the Storm, written entirely in limerick form, was launched at the Hyderabad Lit Fest and later featured at the Indore Lit Fest 2024. The book has received high praise from prominent literary voices. Afsana has co authored two anthologies, Revolutionaries of India and Bagful of Stories. They're both available on Amazon, and both were released in late 2024. She also served as a judge for the Haikiga category at DPS Litfest 4 and is actively involved in book clubs, open mics, and creative writing workshops under the Magic of Pens initiative. When she's not writing or healing, Afsana enjoys singing, music, nature walks, and caring for animals and birds. An artist at heart and a healer by profession, please welcome the ever inspiring Dr. Afsana Ilyas Badar.
Thank you
Go
so
ahead.
much for your kind words, Nancy. So the title of my story goes, I wished for just one. I'm feeling really low today. My elder sister is going to get a lot of roses at her college today. And the reason they call it the Rose Day. I've heard of Valentine's, but what's this Rose Day? She has at least three friends that I know of. That guarantees her at least three beauties. And I will receive none. Why won't I get any? Of course, I'm too small. I could get myself one, but I'm considered too little to handle any money. Leave apart, go out to buy any from the florist. I sit down, mumbling about my misfortune. But who's there to listen to me anyway? So I decide to go outside and sit on the garden bench. In my anger, I try to look into the eyes of the sun, but the ultraviolet rays burn mine instead. So I'm forced to look down, and behold, I see 100 little pink roses. Or are they 1,000? In my excitement, I run towards them, and as I venture closer, my nose fills with the most intoxicating fragrance. Never in my life have I smelled anything so divine. Apart from mummy's home cooked food, of course. As I gain composure, I turn back to see if mummy's home. Luckily, she is. I straightaway declare the rose shrub as mine. She thinks for a second and agrees on my ownership. I'm on top of the world. I lay my mattress near the rose shrub. I eat there, sleep there, basically live there. On other side of the house, my mother is all smiles. It's a win-win for her. She knows I won't be bothering her anytime soon, and it means I won't let anyone come near the rose shrub, leave apart, pluck a tiny bud. The full blooms being out of question. The universe has conspired in her favor. She gets busy collecting the recipes of rose sharbat and gulkan from the neighbors. And here I'm beyond elation. I wished for one and I received 100. Thank you.
That is such a sweet story, Afsana. So sweet.
Very relatable, Afsana.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think
Very,
we should
very
ask
sweet
to
story.
get the portion for the Sharbat and Gulkan now.
Yes, you'll get them in the green room.
But a beautiful story. Rose and a rose shrub. You can have all of those roses.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So now we are coming closer to the conclusion of today's evening. Thank you, our lovely audience, for staying with us. Hope you loved listening to the stories as much as we loved creating them. And we hope you had an exhilarating experience. We would love to hear from you here another day, another time, with some new tales. Until then, it's me, Dr. Afsana Badar, signing off from Mehdibag, Nagpur. This is all we had for today. Thank you.